everybody, welcome back to Planning with John, and today we're here for a plan with me. It's been a very busy past week with symphony and all of that stuff added into the schedule that we haven't had for quite some time. So let's take a look inside of my planner and let's see where we are. So I'm going to jump to my monthly. Okay, here we are. And I discovered something that I could use my diddle dot stickers with so far, at least for the month of October. I'm keeping track in my monthly of each day that I get a Vlogtober video up. So it is late on the 18th, so I've gotten all videos up so far for this month. The one on the 18th was very short. It was a live recording of me with one of my harp player friends from the Midwest Harp Festival, and it was due to having a double rehearsal yesterday. One of the rehearsals, half of it got canceled due to high winds since we were outside. Then we had the second rehearsal, and then today we had rain and winds and only played one piece of the concert, and it has been a stressful weekend. It's concerts are normally stressful enough because of the amount of pressure that we put on ourselves as musicians. I mean, you know, if you can listen to a recording at home, you know, in your CD player or radio system or with Spotify or whatever, and, you know, hear the greatest orchestras around the world with, you know, amazing speakers and quality or great headphones, it's always a hard draw to get people to go to a live performance, and the reason that's hard is because, yeah, it might not sound like the way it sounds in the concert hall, you know, and that could be, you know, because of, you know, the concert hall has different acoustics. They can adjust the dials up or down however they need to bring out the inner voices that could get lost with, you know, having mics placed right in front of everybody. So it's always a challenge to bring that across to an audience. And then also, you know, going to a concert, you know, there's a decorum issue. Sometimes people don't know how to act, and so they choose not to go. And so it's quite unique. And then throwing on top of that all of the temperature and the weather and the rain and all of that fun stuff, it made this week a little bit more stressful than I was wanting it to be, for sure. So I'm looking at my monthly schedule, and I can see my teaching is going to be the same. The only thing I have added into my schedule this week is I do have a recording on Saturday the 24th for a church for their Sunday, televised through web or Facebook or however they do that. So that's what I have this week. Okay, I'm going to need a weekly tracker, so we'll set that aside. And I am going to need a Post-it note, just like a regular Post-it note, which I thought I had regular Post-it notes up here. Maybe not. I got all those fun ones from that last video last week where I stenciled or printed on them and showed everybody how to do that. I had a bunch with some teddy bears, I thought. Maybe I used all those up. Oh, nope. They're in here. Sounds like we have a new neighbor in the building with a dog. So you might hear a dog that's not Seamus howling. Okay. So here we are for our week. Let me mark off a few things. We didn't do that. for our tracker. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take this cute little post-it note that I designed these little bears on, and I'm going to check to see if there's any weekly tasks that I didn't get finished. Write them on this post-it note so I can carry them forward to next month. So the first thing is there's a letter of recommendation that I need to finish for a student. And I actually think I might have that on a post-it note back here. Letter of recommendation. So why don't we... Okay, so we have the letter of recommendation, and it's due by the 30th, so that is getting done this week. Everything was done on Monday, everything on Tuesday, everything on Wednesday, everything on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm filming right now. Vlog plan with me. So we can move my weekly tracker back to this week. So the only thing I have to do is I have to finish the dishes, and we're actually doing tea tomorrow. I think we're doing tea this week, and there's water already in the tea kettle, so all we have to do is poke the button in order to have tea. So the only thing that needs to get carried forward is the letter of recommendation. Okay, so I'm going to put that up here. Letter of recommendation. And actually, I'm going to pull these out in order to make the writing just a little bit easier. So, letter of recommendation to UNT, University of North Texas. I do have a few calendars that some friends want me to make for them. So I need to make some pocket TN. A friend of mine wanted standard Midori for 2022. And then I need to print my 2021 in personal size for my mother, and also need to ship to her as well. Okay, so this post-it I can get out of the way because I have it already written down up there. So Monday, I teach TCC. Tuesday, teach TCC. Wednesday, it's a short day. Let's see. Thursday, Friday, what was Friday? Oh, we have temple for Shabbat, film at College Hill, and I need to choose music for that. I'm playing the like the prelude, the postlude, and I think maybe the offertory. I'm thinking I might do trying to do some inspirationally James Galway type of stuff. If you guys don't know who James Galway is, look him up on YouTube. His first name is James. His last name is Galway. He's the flutist. That is the reason why I play the flute. An amazing musician, an amazing person. I do have photos of me with him from when I was younger. If I can find one, I'll try to insert it here. If I found that photo, that was from a party that we had at one of my teacher's houses when he came to play a concerto with the Detroit Symphony. That would have been back in 1992, October sometime of 1992. I was much skinnier, but I wasn't skinnier because I was healthy. I was skinnier for very horrible reasons. I was, I wouldn't say it was anorexia, and I wouldn't say it was bulimia. It was kind of like a mix of the two. And yeah, and my hair, I don't know if you can see that photo, is this like purpley, plummy, auburny. It was yeah. So there was that. I'm going to really work to see if I can find that photo. I was wearing this white shirt with these like burgundy and hunter green and stripes. It was, and I had like these dark green, it was, because remember it was the early 90s, and I had these dark green pants on with burgundy penny loafer shoes. It was an outfit to be seen for sure. So yeah, James Galway, he's the reason why I play the flute. An amazing musician, amazing flute player, an incredibly kind, generous soul. At that time, he really liked to drink. It was a fun party. We played flute duets. I got to play duets with James Galway, and we played flute choir music because one of my teachers at that time still has a publishing company and was the importer for Muramatsu flutes. And at that time, James Galway was playing only Muramatsu flutes, and I had a Muramatsu flute because of that. And I don't anymore. It's not the flute for me. They're beautiful flutes, but I play a little bit differently than that. But yeah, I'm gonna work my hardest to find that photo. I'll find it. So there's that, and then we do have temple at the end of Shabbat. We have Havdalah. And then Sunday, I actually have nothing. So we're going to leave that blank. But I did need to fill out my little tracker. And let's put the same stuff that we have on the tracker. Dishes, trash, make sure that gets taken out. The kitty litter, I'm gonna do tomorrow morning. The pet water. We have this big, huge tank that usually goes like a week or so. And then if it gets like pet hair or dirt in there is when I also will do it more than once a week. Laundry. Walk Seamus. And I'm still going to write coffee ready, even though we might just be doing tea for the week. I've got my little list of some admin-y planning with John Etsy things that I need to do for a few people. There's that. I think that's about it for the plan with me. Let's put these pages back in. Now there are some like things that I do want to try and plan. Something that I do want to try to do is I do want to I feel like I'm always writing this. I need to organize the dining room. And it's really more that I need to go through stuff again and make some more hard decisions about purging. Something I do want to do is I want to film this week my, what is that, Raska cart, or whatever those are called? And I want to film, what I have on it. For one of my vloggy videos. I really need to just purge things. I really do. It just purge items. So when I was talking earlier about, musicians in a hard week, and then that photo of me where it'll look like I'm a lot thinner than a person should be. Musicians, I don't know how to say this, but we have an incredibly demanding job. Performing, we have perfection it's just required. It's not a, if I got some ink on it's just demanded. It's expected that you're going to sit down and you're going to play perfect. And that's one reason why I shared that in that video of why I practice and how I practice. Because we have so much in a normal season, so much new music thrown at us, with new stuff for concerts every week, we have to have a condensed way of taking something difficult and challenging and making it easy, so we can, in a matter of 3 or 4 days, make sure that it is performance ready. Because one of the concerts one of the symphonies we were going to be playing today was the Brahms Symphony. That's like almost an hour long symphony. It's a lot of music to get through. And where am I going with this? I guess what I could say is from that video, or that photo of me with James Galway, I would have been all of 19, and I would have been a sophomore in college. And at that time, I was going to Central Michigan University. It was a wonderful school. I had a wonderful teacher there. And my sophomore year, all of a sudden I was, principal in the orchestra, principal in the wind ensemble. I was playing in the student woodwind quintet. I was, playing concerts with the chorale, the choirs, you name it. I was doing about a concert a week. And when you're a musician, you're always working to better your playing. I mean, you can go out there and give a great performance, and due to the way we work, it's so easy to feel that no matter what you did, that your best still wasn't good enough, because there could have been a mistake, there could have been a flaw, there could have been something. I'm doing this a little bit early just so I remember to do it. I don't know where my little tweezers are, but that's for this video. And so we're constantly being compared to recordings. I remember one of my professors for my major professor when I was working on my first master's at Louisiana State University. She wanted me to play I thought at the time a really demanding sonata, and it is, by Lowell Lieberman, his flute sonata. He's a wonderful composer. I actually know him now. He's an amazing, wonderful guy. And I know him because I actually played and recorded his piece, which I find so intriguing because, she tried to get me to play it on a concert and tried, and then finally she said, "You are doing this piece on your graduate recital and your final semester." And I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't want to play it because you recorded it and you have what I consider to be like the best recording of it. And then she's like, oh no, don't worry, the pianist plays a wrong note in the very last chord. And I'm like, I know that, but I wasn't going to say that. And she's like, so, things happen. And she said, you have to play this. You have to learn this. It's becoming standard repertoire. And she said, you're going to play pieces that people have performed, and she said, you play Bach, and there's hundreds of recordings of Bach. And I'm like, well, but that's different. And so she's like, she's like, we don't have recordings of, the best players during Bach's time. She's like, no, we have great recordings of great players today playing it. I said, yeah, but I don't feel that way about that, because that type of music, if you know anything about music, you have a little bit more liberty, a little bit more freedom due to the nature of the music. There's a long talk we could get into, but about performing Baroque music. Actually, I have here, because of my students, my teaching right here, this is a very interesting book. It's called On Playing the Flute, and it's by Johann Quantz. He was the flute teacher for Frederick the Great. Frederick the Great was a flute player. He studied with Quantz from when he was, a teen to even when he was king. There's stories of Quantz. That's not Quantz or Frederick the Great. It's just a flutist in the painting. There's stories that Frederick was having lessons, and his father, who was against the arts, would be running around looking to find, where this flute player was, and Quantz would be hiding out in his wardrobe closet. But then eventually, when Frederick's father died, and he, went from being prince to being, the king of Prussia, then the arts became something much more impactful, something much more important. And there's also another really good book. It's a historical fiction-ish sort of a book. It's called Evening in the Palace of Reason. Bach, and when they say Bach, they mean Johann Sebastian Bach, meets Frederick the Great in the Age of Enlightenment. It's by James R. Gaines. Wonderful book. I had the hardcover, and I think I ended up reselling it because I also had the paperback, and this is easier to carry and move around. But Frederick the Great, that's a painting of Frederick. He gave concerts, nightly concerts. His harpsichordist that accompanied him was Johann Sebastian Bach's son, Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. And when he was younger, he would play a couple of concertos and then a handful of sonatas every night. So if you were going to see the king for anything and you were staying for dinner, you were going to have a 2-hour concert by the king every night. He would even take his flute when they were at war with him, and he would still play his flute. Quite an interesting man, interesting story about him. This is a wonderful book that I spilled something on. But yeah, this book is what I tell my students is everything you would and would not want to know about playing the flute, because it has some interesting anecdotes, like, say you're playing a concert and you get nervous. Quantz says, take your hand, dab it in your powdered wig, and the talc will soak up any of the moisture. There was another flute book from the same time by Johann Tromlitz, and Tromlitz gives you a recipe for making a chapped, like a lip ointment. So it's just kind of interesting, the stuff that we have. But that lip ointment was very interesting. It had like deer tallow in it. So like, animal deer fat. It had some sort of a root. It had some sort of a berry and a specific type of an apple. And I've always wanted to make it, but I'm like, I kind of am weary of the deer tallow. I'm not up for that part of the task. So, all the cat hair. So yeah, so there we are. Kind of a short little plan with me because, you know, it's not going to be a very busy week. Something I want to do is maybe track treadmill time. So I have a little list of some Peaky Dory Planning with John items. Oh, and I guess I'll just put these here to fill up the space because I'm going to do this. That is my task for Vlogtober, is I'm going to vlog or upload some sort of a video every day this month. And that's why today's was just a quick little you know what I just realized? I didn't put down the dates for the week. Let's do that right quick. Today was the 18th, so October 19th, October 20th, 21st, October 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31. And on the 23rd is when we have to start taking our temperature again before our next concert. What we have to do is we have to take our temperature twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And then we have to get a COVID test like 4 days before the first rehearsal. That gets real old real quick, but it's in order to protect everybody, to make sure that no one is sick. So there we are. Not a very earth-shattering plan with me video. Nothing, you know, crazy going on, but I thought I would just share a little bit of inside my planners, and I didn't even look to see if I was in the center of the screen, and I hope I was. Yeah, kind of. If you have any questions, you know, leave them in the comments down below, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.